So, I'm Shazzy, and today I'm gonna review Must Die Crisis Vision and Must Die Crisis Vision Redux. Writing a review for these both pretty big projects. It took quite a while, but I'm proud of it and now I can record it. Must Die is a producer you just have to respect. He's incredibly versatile, he's an OG, he's been in the scene for quite a while. And I mean, yeah, personally I like his music a lot, and this album, you might know what I think of it now. So, let's begin. First track, Nihilism, begins at home. Starting with a glitchy, digital, noisy, screechy, and just very in-your-face sounds and basses, Nihilism begins at home, doesn't hold back, even as an intro. The single drop we get is quite solid. Not sure why, but the basses, which are good, sound kind of bubbly to me. The little sustain going on constantly in the background is a nice addition to give the drop a bit more energy. I will say that the B section is a bit too invasive for me to fully enjoy, but it's still far from unbearable. It's just a bit much. Kind of creepy and unsettling. Very stompy, but I think far from Must Die's best work. I guess it's still a good introduction to the album. Intros don't have to be the most insane thing ever. I mean, it's good. On speakers, this is completely acceptable, but I think that sustain on headphones it's close to painful. Lolo K, a huge collab. It 100% gives you everything you want from them. From Must Die's aggressive reads in the second drop to the incredible Achaos drums and details, and lastly, Scream's rather low-key sound design, which was probably most apparent in the first drop. So yeah, it starts with a solid, trappy intro, then going into that clean as fuck, I don't know what that genre would be, hybrid trap, I guess. Anyway, the sound design, drums, and those light cymbal patterns make for an insane drop, even if it is a bit minimal. That way, every sound has a lot of space and can live to its fullest. After a kind of tense midsection, the second drop is just full in your face. Insane sub, or should I rather say Reese control. It just adds to the sheer heaviness of the drop, and surprisingly, it did not feel out of place at all to me. Like, it was really in your face and quite contradictory to the first drop, but I didn't mind at all, and both drops are fucking amazing. Yeah, I'm really glad that such a huge collab didn't disappoint. It was just absolutely amazing. It's so clean, it's so well produced, it's so fucking satisfying to listen to. Fuck Your Style is a unique one for sure, starting out with trippy vocal chops and later a trap beat, only to continue to a pretty unsettling mess of a build-up. It does kind of fit though. The drop is damn weird, but I fucking love it. It's just a noisy, bass-heavy, relentless compilation of basses with incredible details thrown in, like the drum patterns, the little melodic pad thrown in at the start of the drop. They simply make this drop so much more fun. It actually switches up a lot, mostly just between the basses and the pitch of those basses, but that's more than enough considering they're that gritty. Although I wish the ending wasn't so loud, but I guess Must Die just shit on everything and did what he wanted to do. For the most part that was successful, just the ending was very loud, and I think I would have preferred it to be a bit more conventional. Fucking insane, man. I appreciate the unique structure of this track as well. The Amano collab, Life Suck, was one that I was incredibly excited for, and I had really high expectations, so at first I was actually pretty disappointed of it. First drop just seemed far from the potential those two had. Even now that I'm into it more, I just felt like they could have done so much more with the drop. It's pretty much just a rave stab in cooperation with a Jersey kick pattern, with a few claps, fills, sweeps thrown in. I think now I find it pretty jumpy and fun, but it's just fine to me. The atmosphere in the midsection is cool, and the second drop is definitely a lot more rewarding to me. I find the techno drop to be more fitting for when the drop is gonna be a bit empty, plus the acid bass added is actually really sick. So yeah, it's overall quite a good tune, not incredible. I thought they could have done a lot more, but I definitely won't complain when it comes on. Weird. Club banger, I think. But yeah, it's just a bit empty. Another mono collab with Mustai would be fucking insane, especially if they really put some insane energy into it. Or if it's melodic, I wouldn't mind that at all. Either. This is so much better. Don't Even Bother featuring the pom-poms is a vibey, simple house number. The vocals the pom-poms put on show are incredibly fitting and also very easy to get into and sing along to. The house drops is not the most unique thing ever, but there's just some classic house sounds and basses incorporated here, which I appreciate. The vocal sample in the second part of the drop is a good addition and a nice way to build down. Then that midsection with the absolute staple Mustai synth and melody that can't be missing. It's great. The second drop is much different, but I don't really think it needs to be. It's just a tune you put on whenever to vibe out, and you don't really need to switch it up constantly. This is a great example of that.
Here we are at the end of the world tonight, and it feels so right.
It's far from mind-blowing, but it's just a good vibe. The sixth track, Sorotech, is also a single that was released before the actual album. It's just classic Mustai at his best. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but either way it is really fucking good. An interesting choral intro, followed by an awesome acid bass pattern. The drops are really interesting. I love the melodic hints and general bleep loopy vibe. With a midsection which is kind of dipped in melancholy, the second drop is basically the same with a cool fake out and other subtle additions. For example, I think Mustai said that he made the drums a little bit more impactful there. So yeah, I appreciate the details. It's another fucking banger. For some reason, this choir is just so Mustai, like every time you hear it, you know it's from Mustai. It's for some reason so iconic for me. Seventh track, Buddy Scream. What an atmosphere in the intro. It's minimal, it's quiet, also glitchy and simple. And then the iconic Somebody Scream sample comes in. The D&B drops are really minimal, but also extremely invasive and deep cutting. Percussion really helps there. The sub-control is satisfying as fuck, and the halftime double drop is actually quite a good switch. It's a bit less energetic, but definitely something you'd be really surprised to hear live, especially for the first time. The second drop fake out is really weird, but also I find it fucking insane. It sounds really grainy, and afterwards it simply goes on as the first drop did. Personally, I think that the double drop there and the second drop wasn't that necessary, but that's just my opinion. It's still a mad tune, and further proof of how fucking versatile Mustai is. The snare is so light, but it complements all the other sounds so fucking well. Speaking of versatility, Hellburst is an insanely unique take on hardcore music. The intro and midsection right off the bat are phenomenal, likely the best on the album. The first drop is very unique hardcore, a kick unlike any other I've heard before, and apparently man's used reverb on the sub. The dubstep switch up is amazing as well, albeit a bit less impactful, but it's still fucking good. I love the screech addition in the second drop. Mustai's screeches are always really aggressive, but never overbearing. It's just the perfect balance, and overall it's just a fucking great track. I love hard dance shit, especially when dubstep producers make it. This is proof why. Also, Space Laser's Panic. It's just absolutely incredible. Genuinely, it's impeccable. The drops are incredible as well. I mean, the halftime drop is still fucking good, but the main hardcore ones, class. I mean, yeah, the double drop here I think is also not that necessary. The onumi collab, Error. Again, an intro which is just full of personality. I love Mustai for this. Intros are always, there's a lot of love put into them. The drop is a perfect blend between heavy and melodic. The melodic progression of the weird main sound is just amazing. In the breakdown, I love the weird lasery sound playing. The second drop is something I don't think I've ever heard before, and to this day I'm still kind of torn. The idea is amazing, but the execution is just so fucking weird and one of a kind. The sub sounds like it's taking everything over, but the little glitches, melodic hits, sparkles, I don't know. I guess it's good. I appreciate it for sure. But man, it's weird. I love this part so fucking much for some reason. It's cool. I appreciate the creativity. Choose one with Link. Link is actually a pretty damn cool artist. I've discovered it recently. He's one of the few people who can actually make psytrance extremely fun and rememberable. This collab has a similar vibe to the Imano collab, but the jumpiness of this tune made me like it quite a lot more. The intro melody sounds kind of silly. I guess that was intentional. But yeah, the drop is actually quite vibey. While simple, it's still delivering well, and it's just well produced. The kick in the second drop, simply being a full kick instead of a chopped up psytrance one, is a simple but effective switch. I'm not sure what else to say about it. It's pretty fun. You can definitely hear that they had fun. Nerve Damage is the first single released from the album as far as I know, I could be wrong, and it is, like Sorotech, just staple must die. Intro is extremely euphoric, uplifting, with a heavy drop afterwards. The sustained incorporation with the bubbly details in the background are actually very fitting together. It's generally not that insane to me overall, but still, man, it's great to have bang to. The off drops I fucking love, like I said. And I'd say the second drop with the sustained pitching down is, again, a quite simple but still effective way to switch things up. And lastly, Nerve Damage has a beautiful, calming outro. So it makes sense why this one was released first. It's just staple must die, and it's great. Good job there. Delete It All, featuring Ducky. Absolute fucking prime example of dubstep producers being capable of making some of the most insane hardstyle music I've ever heard. Imagine singing these lyrics along live. Imagine jumping to the beat of the off drops. Imagine going just absolutely fucking mental during the drops. It's all I have to say. I'll just show you the track.
Have you ever wanted to live a dream? Now you can.
I want to hear this live so fucking badly. Singing this along the stream. Oh, it would be so good. It would be such an experience. Wherever You Go is the outro, and they're pretty much a polar opposite from Delete It All. It's kind of weird that they're next to each other, but that was Must Die's choice, and that was definitely intentional. I mean, it's an interesting contrast, starting with a Must Die vibe choir, followed by the main vocal sample and that fucking ARP. Love how the last tune is just Must Die expanding on his euphoric, amazing melodies he always manages to create. And Hardwave is the perfect way to do that. The square melody in the breakdown is a great way to progress the melody. And afterwards, just atmospheric, mellow, gorgeous ambience until the album is over. It's quiet again. It's just pure Must Die. I don't know why, but you can instantly hear that is Must Die. A little lot harder than I was expecting. This is what I call an outro. Amazing. So yeah, it's definitely up there with my favorite albums of the year. Must I didn't give a fuck about genres or rules. He made what he wanted to make, whether it is D&B, dubstep, hardcore, hardstyle, hardwave. And every tune, that was just something I thoroughly enjoyed. Every track I can remember from the top of my head when I just see the name. And I mean, respect for that. I love this album. And the poster shows that. Shipping costs fucking hurt, but it's worth it. So now, my friends, let's go to the Redux. So the remixes and VIPs of the Crisis Vision LP. Starting with the Redux of Nihilism Begins at Home, which is pretty much just a VIP. It's just very crunchy, has a similar structure from the original. It's just generally not that different from the original. But the drops are just different enough for me to, I think I enjoy them a bit more than in the original. It's just solid. It's not mind-blowing. The intro wasn't that mind-blowing anyway. Just pretty enjoyable, completely solid, and yeah. I don't like the fake out that much still, but I like the patterns in this VIP a lot more. The Abstract remix of Lolo K is abstract being abstract. Using the main sound in-house fits extremely well. And I mean, it progresses well enough. Again, just pretty solid. And a simple vibe. You can already hear the BPM is the lower. I mean, obviously, because it's house. Clean again. Pedals are a bit faster. Nothing mind-blowing about this, but just vibey. The Sissy remix of Fuck Your Style. Honestly, at first I was just kinda different to this track, but it grew on me a lot. Insane metallic basses, great patterns, completely in your face, like the original was. All drops have something different to them. The second drop is, I think, a bit more sporadic, and the first drop is just... I mean, the flow there is so satisfying, and the groove overall, really fucking good. Love how different the intro is. The second drop is more low-key, more bubbly. I think the metallic sound is not as invasive as the first drop. The Tramper remix of Life Suck is basically what you'd expect from Tramper. If you love it, you love it. I'm fine with it. I just think that the drops are too disconnected from the off drops. And additionally, they just don't feel that impactful to me. Like, the growls are good, but I don't know why it's not as impactful as I want it to be. Tramper's break beats, though, they're good. It's okay. I can vibe to it. Yeah, but it's not amazing for me. Like, I love Tramper's album a lot. But yeah, it's just okay. I guess it's more of his old school stuff. It's alright. It's good. Those growls, I like them a lot. The Night Punk remix of Don't Even Bother. I'm really sad that I can't enjoy this to its fullest. Like, the intro is mad vibey, but the first drop just feels too cluttered for me. I love my breaks, it's pretty well executed, especially in the second drop, which I actually love. Man, I just can't get into that first drop, and that's already extremely sad because so far I absolutely loved, adored everything Night Punk released. Miracle Flow, the fucking Red Turbulence EP, everything there, fucking insane. But yeah, the first drop just feels a bit too cluttered and chaotic for me. It's kind of hard to follow.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go!
I mean, yeah, this Night Punk is its best. Doesn't hit for me. The flow's good. I'm not sure what is missing. Like, I can follow everything, but it's still just so kind of chaotic. This. Yeah, the second drop is a lot more followable and feels a lot less cluttered, which is why I love it a lot more. It's still incredibly in your face. really feel the energy as well. The Good Times Ahead remix of Sorrowtech. So, I genuinely don't understand the hate of this track. I fucking love this remix. Like, I've seen a lot of reviews already and rankings where they say it's just an edit, this song is fucking horrible. Stop being so disrespectful. Like, yeah, it's fairly, at least the first drop is fairly similar to the original. But I mean, that's what a remix is for. It should have the remixers spin on it, but the track, the remix should still have hints of the original, and that's what this remix is. The first drop is just a really jumpy, four-on-the-floor version of Sorrowtech, pretty much. And I mean, why is that bad? Why is this so hated? It was the same with Abstract, I mean, and that was not hated at all. So, anyway, the darker double drop is awesome as well. And the dubstep switch in the last drop, although a little weaker, the drum aspect of it is still completely enjoyable. And like, I don't get the hate. And I mean, if you don't like the track, it's fine, but don't say it's fucking horrible and the artist sucks. Don't do that. Don't, please. It's just disrespectful and it doesn't help at all. It's like, it's not criticism, it's just fucking hate. I love that this melody is gated. It's easy to do, but it's a nice change and it's like really fun. It's so fun! Why do people hate it? I love this! Like, genuinely! Like, yeah, the changes are subtle. I mean, they're more than apparent enough. Yeah, I like this remix a lot, even though apparently other people hate it. The Cheeky remix of Body Scream. Cheeky kinda went off with the sub on this one. There's not a lot of aspects to this tune in general, just very gritty basses in the first drop, with the drums keeping a good flow. The proper DMB switch in the second drop is pretty mad too, and yeah, I fucking love minimal DMB, that still hits hard as fuck, and this does it pretty wonderfully. This fucking sub is so insane. I think this is like a perfect spin on this track. Still keeping the minimality, but it has enough of a cheeky vibe. Both sides combined, very well executed. This is what I mean. Extremely minimal, still so fucking invasive. And those heads too. Hellburst Bad Class remix. Okay, I might not be supposed to love this as much as I do, but this is a fucking banger. The first drop in particular gives me more of a rhythm vibe, but with extremely hard-hitting rhythm drums, and I think Bad Cloud is the right one to talk to in that case. The melodic implementation in the double drop is surprisingly sick, and I mean the last drop switches up just enough. I still think that the first drop is a ton more heavier, but this drop's very good too, and overall, I mean, I love this track. It's such a good remix. Like, I don't know why. It's maybe it's generic, but still, it's so hard hitting. I love it. I love this one so much. It's so dumb. simple idea, honestly, but still, so well executed. Air Slippy remix. Yeah, this is nice. Pretty much just a clean sustain, a very clean sustain, with a nice melody progression, but it's still damn satisfying to listen to. When listening to like 95% of hard wave, I'm always like, yeah, this is fine, but I won't go back to it. But that second drop here, that's just fucking gorgeous and also very impactful. I was always aware that Slippy was a good artist. Rarely ever listened to them, but yeah, good shit. Simple, but production is amazing, and I mean, the melody is very nice as well. Good arms always get me. Choose one didnt remix. I was honestly a little scared for this one. I absolutely adore didnt's trap. I absolutely adore didnt's house, but his dubstep is just a tad too straightforward to me. I don't know, it's a bit generic. I don't, dare I say it? I know, it's just stable dubstep, then nothing very special. It's just always pitching up and up and up. And I mean, that's just why I'm not into that first drop personally. It just doesn't sit that right with me personally. I can definitely see some people loving it though. But yeah, then I'm very glad that the second drop is a complete 180 because that's just jumpy, fun, silly, and even pretty obnoxious speed house, which is just a lot more enjoyable to me. It's just a lot more fun. It's something different, something I've not heard before. So yeah, a very 50-50 track for me. Do you want to risk it?
Choose one.
Like the little metallic overtone there. I think with a few listens I might get into it a bit more, actually. Like, I had this a lot worse in my head. I mean, it's actually fine. Hardstyle influence there, I appreciate that as well. I wish he would have expanded on that properly. But I guess Speed House is the furthest we go from here. Dumb, honestly, but I love that. The Tisoki remix of Nerve Damage. Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent to this one. It's well produced, it's energetic, but there's just not a lot grabbing my attention. I can definitely hear that Tisoki had lots of fun putting this one together, But yeah, that's just not really making me love this. It's a nice clubhouse banger, but I mean, yeah. This way it's just, oh, it's just cool. The outta and ominous remix of Deleted All. Deleted All is my favorite of the album. Outta and Ominous are one of my favorite artists. Maybe not Outta, but Ominous is fucking amazing. And Outta is just very nice. Fuck yes. The metal or punk spin on the intro with a hint of chiptune is for some reason the most unexpected and the fucking best thing they could have done in the off drops. It also made me realize how versatile Otta's vocals are. He can make such chill stuff, but then his voice can also do that. Anyway, the snare, the first drop is fucking insane, and the general drop too. I definitely still prefer the original drops over that one, but it's still fucking invasive and just evil. I love the midsection too. It's not only the instrumental without the vocals, and it's still just, oh, it's so good. It's such an interesting, unique, and creative spin, which just fits so fucking well. The second drop is just fucking insane. This fucking fly, I swear to God. It's ominous. It's ominous, but pretty much the hardest ominous rhythm can go. He had to do it, but otherwise it would have come close to the energy all the other parts of this tune had. But this way he fucking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. The 8-bit influence, it's so fucking good. This remix has so fucking much personality. But you can still hear that it is deleted all, that the original is deleted all. It's just such a fucking perfect spin. A bit of a breakdown here. That's so good. Something you'd never expect from them. But at the same time, you should have expected the unexpected. This is the ominous drop. These are that is the fucking future. And now the company remix of Wherever You Go. And this might be the miss on this Redux. After such a fucking banger, which is also my favorite on the fucking remix comp, there's just not really any remix quality in this remix. The production is fine, the Pleepy second drop is pretty cool, but I was really missing that Wherever You Go melody. And generally, I was just not a big fan. It was nothing special, and even though I know that I fucking love some things that are kind of generic sometimes, yeah, this just wasn't it for me. If you love it, more power to you. But yeah, it's just not for me. To be fair, I was never really a big fan of company, so I wasn't expecting that much. I just don't really care about this style. Yeah. a little weak ending to this remix comp, but I mean, there were fucking other bangers. So yeah. No. Beautiful.
Run back that tune there.
It's okay. Like, it's not something I just stop playing if it comes on, but I think it's my least favorite on here. The second drop has a bit of a eliminate vibe, and it's better, but still. A few nice ideas, I think, but I'm not into this. I appreciate that the off drops at least have the melody, but yeah, the drops are just not for me. So yeah, that was my review of Must Die, Crisis Vision LP, and Crisis Vision Redux. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this. Thank you for watching. I don't have much else to say, so see ya!